Welcome.
Welcome to STWFTV Reviews, where we review movies, TV shows, food, and entertainment. Let's get started.
Indeed. Welcome into the show. This is STWFTV Reviews. We're going to be talking about Fallout today. And with me, I'm your host, Dale. And with me, we got Will, who's been here for all the episodes. What's up, Will? How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm happy to be here finally.
That's right. And making his STWFTV Reviews, we got the coach.
What's up, man? Finally. Hey, I feel like I was kind of getting thrown under the bus a little bit there.
That's right, coach.
We won't tell you how many shows he was supposed to be on before actually showing up, but
you skipped out on too many shows, coach. We had to call you out, bro.
And I say that having pushed this show back an hour single-handedly. Sorry, folks.
Yeah. All right. And also joining us, the clever biatch herself, Bree. How you doing?
Hey, I am so excited to be here. It's weird. I feel like I'm watching the show, but like I'm actually on the show too. It's very cool.
Yeah. Finally, I get to do a show with Bree. It's been a long time coming. So there we go.
Great.
All right. So again, we're talking Fallout. Just right off the top, did anybody play the video game Fallout? Anybody?
So no, I had not somehow.
Okay.
One of my best friends did and has been trying to recruit me to play this game for over a year. And I was like, yeah. And then the show came out. I am now currently playing from the beginning of this series.
There you go. The show got you to playing. All right.
It did. Mostly they'll tell you that's the reverse way of how you should do it, but
right.
Whatever gets you there, right? Whatever gets you there, though. Whatever gets you there.
Exactly. All right. Well, I will say I haven't played the games. The only thing familiar about Fallout was the Vault Boy, giving the thumbs up. That's the only thing that looked familiar to me. So, but I will say, look, I enjoyed the series overall, man. It was enjoyable, and if for a person who did not play any of the video games or know anything about Fallout, I thought they did a really good job with it. So it could stand alone.
Yeah, that's one of the most important parts of doing adaptations, especially game and anime adaptations, because those fan bases are rabid. You have to walk the line between being accurate, but also not trying to just print the game as a movie. It's a tough deal.
I don't know what that was.
You went full robot on us.
Yes, you did. You're still a robot, but that's all right.
You are Skynet.
It's Fallout. I don't know what's going on.
What happened?
Yeah. We AOL loading up.
All right. So
get out of the vault, Dale.
Seriously, he's in the vault. He's on that order of a computer.
Right.
Man, this is messed up. Okay. So the funniest thing early on in the show was that torrent that said, "Please remain calm," and then start shooting at him.
Yeah. It's a hit close to home for certain situations, but yeah, that was they just remain calm.
Well, I light you up.
Yeah. Everything will be over soon.
Yep. So all right, the first episode. Go ahead, Coach.
I was going to ask, we all said that we hadn't played the game. Will just started playing the game. But we knew people that played it. So, like myself, what were your expectations going into it?
So, I went into it expecting he did a good job, my friend. I'll credit Austin. Austin did a good job of trying to hype me up with literally giving me nothing.
Okay.
He did a really good job. Now, there's other times earlier on. I told you he'd been trying to get me to play the game for over a year. So there was times early on that he did spoil some things. Luckily, I forgot him. It was so long ago that I just had no effect. So I went in expecting something, very post-apocalyptic, almost maybe steampunky. It wasn't exactly steampunky, but post-apocalyptic and very much focused on the fallout, the literal fallout, and what that does to society. And that's kind of what you got, but like not how you expected to get it. There were some obvious things, like you just the overall, but when you start on the show, you're in the vault already. So the vault thing is what you have to know from playing the game. Once I saw the vault, and I didn't even know if that was part of the game. And when I asked him, he was like, "Oh yeah, that's a big part of the game."
Oh,
the vaults are a big part. In fact, you start in a vault in the game, so very much the same way. And also, he pointed out that your character, their initial goal, is the same as Lucy's, is to go out and find her father.
Oh.
But in the game, it could be your father. You're a guy. You can pick a guy or girl, whatever one you decide to be. Yeah. So they started out very much the same. Now, from what I'm being told, this takes place starting with Fallout 3, the game Fallout 3.
Okay.
They figured from a story. Yeah, Fallout 3. So they figured from a story perspective, that was the ideal place to start. I don't even know about how the earlier Fallouts or anything, how that story goes. I just know that from Fallout 3 is kind of basically how the game starts. How the show starts. So yeah, that's where they started from, and they did a great job of giving you things that the people who played the game would love. All the Easter eggs, like, oh my god, that's from thing, or that's from that,
like stim packs and stuff.
Yeah. Yes.
I hear the stim packs are done a little differently in the game, but that was him nitpicking
the fact that they refer to it. I mean, that to me, I'm watching other people's, talk about the show. That's what they talked about. Like, it was stim packs made for them. So
it was also a unique moment that my friend told me about. That based on, it's crazy. He said, just based on what you see when we first get out of the vault, will tell you what ending of the previous game they chose. Because apparently one of those games ends and you have a choice, multiple choices of how that game's going to end.
Right.
And basically he said, once you see how the show starts, when they get outside, he could tell you then what ending this show chose, which I thought was fascinating. I still don't know what it is because I haven't finished the game.
Okay.
So I still don't actually know what it is, but I just think they did a great job, like I said, of adding Easter eggs, but making a unique story that if you knew nothing about this, it was still fascinating.
What about the factions, Bree? What faction would you see yourself being a part of in this world?
Oh my gosh. I'd be the lady. So if I was looking at stuff, I'd be the lady that owned the store that in was it the second episode of this?
Mm-hmm.
The one,
couldn't agree more.
Yeah, the crabby old lady that was trying to rent like a general store. I like totally related to that. That would be me, like suffering and blundering my way through. But like, I can fix that. Let me put a new leg on for you. Let me put a new whatever. So
she's like post-apocalyptic Red from Shawshank. Like, she can get you what you need.
Yeah.
That's right.
Like, she got the connections. Yeah. She may not help you, and she's always out for self. That's the one thing that's not like Red. She's out for self. For sure. Because in this world, you have to be. But yeah, that's fun. I can see that. That's
like, thanks.
That's a good pull.
She's out for herself. And
not that she's crabby, but that she's resourceful.
That
she's resourceful.
What about you, Coach? What faction would you be in?
I don't know, because I'm a big fan of his, but I can definitely see myself with the Bounty Hunters.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of Walter Goggins. The Ghoul character just popped to me right away.
Yeah.
He just made his own way. And, everything that was going on around him, he was still in his silo. He was focused on his task at hand.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Walter Goggins, he did his thing in this show for sure, man. Like,
he normally does.
Yeah,
but he got to be like his best self, turned up to like 20, which is not, you don't usually get that ability. The other versions of that, I'd say, like Johnny Depp getting to play Jack Sparrow. He gets to do all his wild, crazy stuff, but on 100 because that's what that character is. So when you, because it's one thing to be typecast for certain things that you're really good at, but how much room do they give you to work with that? And they let Walter do whatever. He got to basically be like the most gangster cowboy you've ever met, but he's also a zombie. It's perfect. It's perfect. And he stole every scene he was in.
He did. You were locked in and fixated on what he was doing.
And he did that
master of his craft.
And he's going to be another one on the list of greats since the beginning of this, which was probably Gandolfini in Sopranos. Yeah. So where it's the lovable villain.
Okay.
And that's a thing that kind of started with him. Not saying that it never happened before, but like the most prominent version of that to begin with was Gandolfini in Sopranos, the lovable villain. And that's exactly what Goggins is. And by the end of it, no spoiler, I don't want to spoil too much, but by the end of it,
spoil it, because you should be watching a review of a show that you don't want spoiled.
He's right. And by the end of it, you find out he's not exactly even a bad guy. That you actually probably in a world full of chaos, you probably most relate to his mission more than anyone else's.
Yeah. I probably would be one of the Vault people because I was not about that life out there. Like radiated water and all that. Like, I'm sitting down here, eat this popcorn and all that stuff. So Maximus was probably my favorite character, but like him in the vault, that was me right there. That's
eating the popcorn in the robe.
Yes.
I got my robe.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I definitely, him in the vault is definitely me. And then him super conflicted outside of the vault is also me. Just trying to find your way, you know, like in this crazy world and making a lot of wrong decisions, and then getting yourself in a spot where everything you believed in, maybe you realize now is wrong, but going against it is going to put you in peril for sure. And then forgetting everything and just falling in love with somebody and doing whatever you can to help that person, which is what he ended up doing.
Yeah. I see that too, man.
Yeah. Sometimes you throw it all away, right?
All right. So let's start like episode 1. You pretty much had that the birthday party and
also in the game.
Yeah, oh really?
Is it? Okay.
The explosions?
You hear an explosion that kind of starts the chaos. Okay. It's not like multiple explosions like that, but it's like an explosion and then shit hits the fan in that vault and you kind of have to get out of that vault.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What number vault did you start in?
Oh, that's a good. You hit me with like a
Austin.
Where's Austin? If Austin was here, he'd have that answer for you. Will does not.
If it's the first Fallout, then it's Vault 13.
Okay.
Wait, Fallout what? No, but so like I said, from Fallout 3 is where
Fallout 3 is 101.
Then it's 101. Yeah, it must be 101 then.
Okay.
Look at you.
Hey, I got notes. I got notes.
Yeah, you got a whole Fallout page. You send that link.
I try to come prepared. You know how it is.
Yeah. So okay.
I don't want to connect with dog meat. Like I don't want to relate to that character. It'd be like Aubrey's dog meat tonight.
We see these nuclear explosions happen in Los Angeles here, and then they fast forward the timeline to like 219 years after the explosion, and then that's when we go to the vaults. The Vault 33. You meet the ghoul, and I don't know, his character, of course, is a great character, but the look of the ghoul character, I thought it reminded me a lot of what's the dude from Marvel? Red Skull.
Oh,
Red Skull.
Yeah,
he's a lot of Red Skull. Yeah.
Reminded me a lot of Red Skull. So, but
looks like Red Skull, but he's dressed like the Question.
Yeah.
And he has
It's a nerd deep cut there. Sorry, folks.
And he has the characteristics of Cad Bane.
Oh yeah, he's definitely a Cad Bane.
Mandalorian.
Just that cold, like ice cold bounty hunter killer. Like nothing phases him. And he's been through every situation, so you're not ever gonna surprise him.
Yep.
Yeah.
So with the vaults, well, Lucy trying to get out the vault in the second episode there. You kind of have the people in the vault. Of course, they're afraid to death of outside, and the way they made it sound to me like nobody could live outdoors. And so I was really surprised to see people actually alive outside the vaults. Just looking at the show. Were you surprised by that, Coach?
I was, to an extent, because I was thinking, obviously, like I said earlier, I hadn't played the game before, but I was thinking surely this whole thing couldn't be just set it in this vault, and that was going to be it.
Right.
So, once they went out, but the fact that they was kind of out there, like you say, and they wasn't wearing any protective covering or anything like that, that part threw me off.
Yeah.
So that, and the fact that, I mean, just from a storytelling standpoint, if her big search is for her dad, and they know that he left, well, that's not much of a story if she goes outside and everything is dead. So I was like, yeah, there got to be something out there. And also I had the advantage of, like I said, having a little information from the game. But what I didn't expect was so many normal people outside. That's the one thing. So people, yes,
right.
But normal. I expected everything outside to be the hills have eyes.
Okay.
That I thought it was going to be like that.
Yeah, makes sense.
But you got some normal people, kind of. I mean, normal-ish. Normal adjacent.
But out there, it's lawless. It's unforgiving. You've got people out there just betraying each other left and right, and you got unexpected alliances shaping things up. It's just the way of the world out there. So in the second episode, we get introduced to character Will Zig, who's pretty important, and now everybody is kind of out to find him. We have no reason why they're trying to find him, but now everybody is. The Brotherhood is one that's pretty interesting, and it's mainly because they seem to be obsessed with technology. So they're sending people out to go find toaster ovens.
And need they Pop-Tarts and toaster strudels.
They lasted through everything.
There's a key fact about Fallout, the Fallout world, that I thought they should have told people, but they didn't, and maybe they will in the future. And just for now, they want us to be like just not know. But apparently, the difference of this world from ours, aside from the obvious, is that at their point in history, they veered off and didn't hit the microprocessor part of their evolution. Instead, they went fusion reactor. So everything in this is powered by fusion reactor and fusion, not microchips or anything like that, which is why the world is also even more dangerous.
Yeah, nothing is digital there.
Nothing there's no digital, right? Like think about it. They have things that we don't even have, but they're still on a Mac DOS. Like it's rough in the it's rough in the vaults in terms of what you have for technology. So I just thought that was an interesting thing that they didn't even say. I guess they just wanted you to assume it, but
and that's what really, really surprised me about, like, even when they went outside for the first time and we're seeing all this technology, and I'm thinking the world as they knew, as far as the people in the vault knew it, ended like 200 years ago,
Right.
and yet they have, you know, we can put a new leg on you, and we can do all, like, there were some crazy things, and it didn't, like, that I just didn't understand. Like, that was a surprising thing that I expected people to actually be okay, and like we get through things, like we even found life finds a way, I guess, kind of a thing. I felt like that was going to happen, and they'd be surprised to see, wow, there's a lot of people out here. But like the technology part, like, what are y'all doing that you're growing new limbs, and like, and it looks very interesting how they do all that stuff. But yet we're paying with bottle caps. So I mean, what?
Exactly. They basically reverted back to heavy metals or any kind of metals being more valuable than whatever else we would be trading. But yeah, they also, but like, yeah, a new limb, but also not really. Kind of just a crude, it sawed the rest of his leg off that was down there and just added, like, I don't know where it goes or what happened with the rest of his body. But like, she just put it on him. It hurt a lot and it connected. And then I don't know if it's not like we see him later and then like the boot's off, he grew a new foot. No, that's just his new foot now. I don't know. It was crude. It was crazy. So they had a lot of things you would expect in a society that isn't a society anymore. It's post-apocalyptic.
Yep. So Lucy, again, pursuing her father because he got kidnapped out of the vault, and she ends up teaming up with Wilzig to reach Moldover, who could be the key to rescuing her father. So that's her motivation for going on there. So Wilzig and his dog. I love that character for sure. The guy playing him, at least. I remember him from what's the name of that show? Person of Interest. And he built this machine, or whatever. Like really smart guy. So
that dude's great. And he always plays very similar. But Person of Interest was one of my favorite shows, by the way.
Yes.
So was Lost. They just could not finish. Tough. I'm glad they picked that actor. I was upset that he didn't last very long.
Pretty quick.
Like, you put in a guy who can act his ass off and probably could help carry this show in case we saw later with Goggins, they needed no help carrying the show. But in the event that you did, that's a guy you want to keep around. And he was gone episode 3. He was out of there. That was tough because I was like, yo, I like that. It's one of the reasons why I was like, yo, I'm in on this show because of him. And he's gone.
Now, one of the things I got for episode 3 is this show side quests, because one of the big things I got from people play the video games is you can log on for 10 minutes with something in particular in mind to do, and you get sidetracked like 3 hours later doing something else.
Welcome to the world of video games. Yep.
Specifically open world, and very much this type of game because it gives you so much freedom to try to be creative as well, because you can also create a base, which means scavenging for those materials and then doing all this stuff that has nothing to do with the actual storyline. So very much GTA in the sense of like, oh, I can get in here and not do at all what I came to do.
Yeah. All right. Shout out to James. He says it's because Fallout technology was created from the point of view of how we thought technology would advance from the 50s. So makes sense.
I think I brought up the show. Was it For All Mankind or All Human? Let me check that. But I brought up the show because it did the same thing where they kind of changed history from the starting point of the space race of going to the moon. And the whole story is told from the perspective of what if America did not win that race?
Oh.
And how because think about it. We won the race.
Right.
And then we felt there was no more need to be in that space. Both space and the space of that amount of technology. We didn't even care anymore. But we lose the race. We're competitive. And now we're fighting Russia. So the whole story goes from there. So same situation where they like with the way they do Fallout is different from the microprocessor. What would have happened? I just thought that was fascinating to do. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. With episode 3, we get the backstory from Cooper Howard, aka the Ghoul. This is back in his human form, right? And we get to see the connection that was built between him and Vault Tech. And it gives you the origin of Vault Boy with the thumbs up gesture, because he's in all those commercials, man, and he's trying to sell these vaults. So what do you think about the whole, I guess the whole plan there from the United States government perspective? Like, we're going to hire Vault to protect the citizens of the United States. You build these vaults, and we're gonna have people get into it. We're relying on you. What do you think about that, Bree?
Oh, that's yeah.
Oh man. They had me for the long. I mean, I get it. Like, back, I'm thinking 1950s, right? So I'm trying to put my head in, like, what were they thinking? And that made sense to me. Like, we've seen a ton of these movies where, like, we build arcs, or we build, like, these big caves and inside dwellings and things like that. So I got the vault, but they lost me when they, like, brought all these insane people into a room, which are supposed to represent all of these, like, top company heads or whatever it is.
Yes.
And they're like, you could each have a vault and, like,
Yes.
set it up any way you want. And it's so demented and crazy. Like, that's what happens when you, like, give free reign to something like that, and you wonder why, nobody would trust anybody anymore.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. This was an experiment, but an experiment to save the lives of the of people in the States. Like, it's nuts. It's absolutely nuts.
A grand scale social experiment.
Yes.
In which very much the people you're experimenting on are also the only people left on Earth, allegedly. So as far as they're concerned, which is maniacal at the very least.
Yep.
I've seen this trope used in a bunch of animes. If you've seen this show before, we also watch anime, and it is one of my favorite tropes. Is an anime called Seven Seeds that they do the same thing. They knew that there was going to be a nuclear thing, and comet was going to hit. They didn't tell everybody. Instead, like 7 different humongous factions built these vaults the very much the same way. But each vault decided, we're going to train these people in different ways. Now, there was a super survivor vault. All of them were trained in the most important ways to survive in a post-apocalyptic world. But then there's another vault that's very much focused not on that. That is focused on entertainment and keeping people happy, because they realize that's a huge part of keeping society from just killing and eating each other. It was fascinating, and I think that's kind of the plot of here. They did that same exact thing in that room, which is, it's messed up, but also probably kind of necessary.
Well, we got Vault 106. If you're interested in going to Vault 106, I don't know if you know what happens over there, but they had psychotropic drugs pumped into the airflow supply.
That sounds like the best vault possible.
There you go.
Give it all your words.
Yeah.
It also sounds like the first vault to fall, because if they get raided, they're defenseless.
Everybody's zooted and booted.
Wait, well, unless it's literally always flowing, and then the invaders don't have gas masks, and then they just join the community.
Yep, there you go.
So I'm getting the feelings of, the way that, I could be wrong, when they built those vaults, was they selective about who was able to access these vaults?
Yeah, for sure. They like we were saying, they set the table, right? And it was like, hey, you could have vaults, and so for sure they're gonna put their family in it, all that kind of stuff, or do whatever they want. So yeah, you had to have an in, or you giving up some money to get one of these vaults. That's really it.
Well, part of the purpose of the Ghoul's backstory is to show that, because remember, he's talking to his wife, and she keeps bringing up how we're going to have a great vault. So there was obviously tiers, and they knew that.
Yes.
It was close to the vaults, and they knew that ahead of time. So it went exactly how we think it would all go. If we build these giant life spaceships, we know exactly who would go. They'd be the greatest one would be the rich folks. Then it'd be some mediocre but passable machines for the middle class, and the rest stay here. Yeah.
Well, you still got to have some people cleaning the latrine, right?
Right,
So
which is why they get to go, but
yeah,
you know,
well, that's 2012, right? The movie 2012 with John Cusack. You know, it was like the billionaires and the multi-millionaires and billionaires that could buy their luxury pad on these Ark things that they built. And then, you know, then they still had to have the workers there. They still had to have the people, you know, serving the other people. So yeah, it was only, you had to have money to really be on that.
And it was funny because in that we follow is it Costner in that one? Oh, I don't know.
No, it's Cusack and
Cusack, not Costner. You're right, Cusack. And when you follow Cusack is one of those characters that is like right on the line of importance, where he almost didn't get a spot. Like,
right.
So yeah, there's tears to it, and it's crazy.
It's screaming the immortality drive to me, as far as like they're trying to preserve certain factions and certain DNAs and things like that to ensure, you know, the continuation of humanity.
I could James says I could completely picture Elon, Zuck, Gates, and then the Nvidia owner sitting at a table right now having no, seriously though.
Yeah, real talk.
Like when they're out in the woods at that burning statue. Yeah, exactly.
They do have those conversations. 100%. Yeah. That's scary.
Absolutely.
That's the always thing that I like about this, like with Fallout, with all this stuff, there's that almost reality feel to it.
Yes, you could.
That
you're possible.
Like, this is possible. Like, the cryogenic thing where they're like freezing people and they're gonna do whatever, and like all these, like I feel like it so could happen that it's scary. I watched Enemy of the State, one of my very favorite movies of all time. I can see that over and over. Will Smith, Gene Hackman, amazing. And the things that they were doing in that and the technology they had in that, we're like, okay, so that you had that technology 10 years ago. We're well aware now that, but I didn't know that half that stuff could happen. But it's like so real. And that's the part, like when you're in these kind of movies, it could be even like World War Z, which I didn't even know was a zombie movie. I went to see Brad Pitt. Like, honest to God, when zombies appeared, I was like, what movie am I at?
Are you so blinded by the light that is John, that is Brad Pitt that you didn't even...
Like, we're gonna go see World War Z. It's a Brad Pitt movie. You want to go? And I'm like, let's go. So I watched the movie.
She showed up expecting Fury and got The Walking Dead.
Got zombies.
28 weeks later.
Had not a clue.
That's
Great
funny.
movie. Still like it. Watched it a bunch of times, but not what I was expecting.
Yeah, they're the standard for overly crazy, aggressive steroid zombies. No one else really does those. Closest we got before that was 28 days.
Yeah. So we had to see Lucy cut off the head of Dr. Wilczek because he was dying. He's got something that he injected into his neck area this seems to be something of value, and this is
COVID
why
shot. No one.
No. Different conspiracy theory. It's a microchip.
Okay. Hey,
Same
something in
people,
there.
different one.
And so we see the ghoul team up with Lucy to try to get this gulper who stole the head, and that thing was a freaking giant. And so they're saying like the radiation kind of morphed things, insects and animals and stuff like that, and this is what we get. That's another reason why I can't live out there on the surface.
No, so where I was out was the size of the bugs, so I'm done.
Yes.
Yep.
Count me out.
Yes, I can't do that.
You said life-size roaches?
Coach is like, look, I live in Texas. We got these all the time.
If it came down to it, it's good eating.
I'm gonna stay in the vault, y'all. Have fun up there.
But eat this radiation meat.
Stay safe out there. Reminds me. Remember, y'all see Snowpiercer? So I always derail. But
I watched like the first season. I did watch the movie.
The movie.
Yeah, but I did watch the first season, and then it got too much. It got boring to me. I had to stop.
Yeah. Yo, I watched literally just to support my guy David Diggs. I want him to be successful. So I kept watching. But yeah, same thing. They had him eating grasshoppers. They didn't even know.
Yeah. So in the 4th episode, we see Lucy try to fend for herself in the wasteland. But she's still trying to maintain her little optimism. But she's learned how the real world is. She is really, really learning, because now she's out there. She got to drink radiated water and all this kind of stuff. It's bad for her. And so let's see. She and Norm try to find some answers about the fate of the residents for Vault 32. That was kind of weird what was going on there, because nobody really had any kind of clue what was going on, but things look really old and just like totally destroyed over there. They had really no idea what was going on. And then like they get introduced to this surgeon robot, Snip.
Snip.
But the crazy thing about Snip, he goes to help. It was like, oh, your finger's missing or whatever. We can't have that. We got to fix that. And so he goes and fixes it. And then the next step was like, okay, now I'm about to harvest your organs. Like, what?
Yeah.
Put an old corpse finger on her, like,
Right. And now you're about to harvest organs. Why even worry about fixing the finger at that point? Like, if this is what you're going to do.
Make her feel comfortable. Well, gosh darn it. That's not nice of you.
Well, they say like meat tastes different when the animal dies scared.
Yes, that is true. The adrenaline.
So, I mean,
we did certain things to certain animals right before we processed them to ensure that the meat didn't have that taste.
Oh, I didn't need to know that part. Imagine that job, fellas. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd rather just live in the farm.
I spent many of summers doing that.
Are we talking about the same thing? Let's go.
So
it's illegal in most states.
Episode 5 is where we figure out like a lot of these vaults are connected, 31, 32, and 33 connected, right? And they have these elections where the votes are in secret, but there's like a saying going on, like when things look bleak or something, vote for somebody from Vote 33. And this is where like the overseers usually come from, Vote 33. And so you got to just keep that in the back of your mind, because it's going to come into play later on, and it was some shady stuff, of course.
Can we take a minute to talk about Leslie Uggams and how amazing she looked in this movie?
Oh my God.
She looks so good.
So shot out, like just like this, like this maniacal old woman. Like
Yeah.
She looked great, man. She did a great job.
Yeah, she was really annoying, because I felt her to be like really false from the beginning. And I was like, you're so fake. I'm tired of her.
It was all just like work, like every sentence it's like a telemarketer or everything is scripted. Everything she said, you knew she read from a handbook.
Yes.
She just was saying it for this situation.
A true politician.
She was even
trained
worse.
very well.
Even worse than a politician, because she's not even selling you a lie. She's literally selling you exactly the right answer. The script. It's crazy.
She turns 82 tomorrow, by the way.
Wow. Amazing.
You wouldn't have known it in this show.
Yeah. I
don't
have
look
no
a day
idea.
over 60. Don't look a day over 60. Black on crack.
I'm telling you, man. All right,
so
so James says,
as you're talking about it, I'm skipping through the episodes just to see some of the scenes, and like I just saw her as like, she's trusted it in this.
Incredible.
So
I
James
just kept expecting like the back of her head to open up and be like a robot or something.
Yeah.
Like like that's how it came across. Like,
yes.
I expected her to open up like a Brotherhood suit.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of that, I was thrown off by Michael Rappaport being in there.
Yes, me too.
Played the perfect role. The guy who acts like everyone views as he's a fucking slime ball. Like you don't want nothing to do with this clown.
Get me out of this.
Get me out of this shit. Like just a failure. The man ran in an entire suit and he hauled ass. Like it was terrible, but it was a great role for him. Very much like the Bill Burr in the Mandalorian show, like very much the same type of cameo.
Absolutely.
Although I was less happy about this one. I enjoy Bill Burr. I don't really enjoy Michael Rappaport. Pretty sure I'd fashion myself a steel cup to wear around old Snip. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, don't trust that snip guy. You're right.
It'll get a real chastity belt in there fast with that motherfucker. Yeah, we're not. Not today.
Real talk, man.
What's up, Wizzo?
So
Wizzo in the house.
Maximus, again, that was one of my favorite characters. With the Brotherhood, he idolizes the knights. He wants to become a knight, and he's pretty much training and getting his behind whipped like every day, and he's just being beat down like all the damn time, bro. I don't know why he stayed with the damn Brotherhood. So,
all right, so I need help right quick to settle an argument with Austin.
Huh?
I need your help to settle an argument that I had with my friend Austin, who put me on all this stuff.
Okay.
So in the scene in episode 5, I don't know if you can remember the scene, but it's the opening scene where he's still in the suit and he's talking to the other scribe or whatever he is. Is that what they're called, scribes?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
Yeah, he's talking to the other scribe who was always an asshole. Yeah. A squire, there it is. Yeah. Yes. So he's talking to the squire and he's just like, yeah, that guy's an asshole. But like they're getting cool, kind of. And then, so my friend says that Maximus was being entirely irrational in the moment when he basically was like, no, we don't have to go back. And he said that because of his irrationality, that's why the other kid acted the way he did. But I thought that kid, the minute he saw his face and who it was, he was already plotting on taking Maximus out, that he was the asshole in the situation.
Yeah.
That's what I felt.
Yes.
Wasted no time.
He was saying that the squire's reaction was completely rational because Maximus was being irrational. He's like, yo, they're not gonna, like, everybody knows the Brotherhood's gonna find you. Like, you're not gonna be able to escape with this. So I'm not gonna help you do this. But the way I saw it is that is his perspective because he knows all of these factions intimately. Whereas if you're watching this show at this point, I've seen nothing at this point. By episode 5, I've seen no examples that the Brotherhood is always everywhere and finds everything out. Like from what I saw, they still
didn't know crap through the whole thing.
They let a squire fake them out on a radio and sent another squire. They're not exactly crushing it out here. Like,
yes, exactly.
So the way I saw it is that there's no way the show could have expected you to feel like, everybody, the Brotherhood will always find you. No, we don't see that by then. So by then, I think they were pointing out that kid, the minute he saw his face, was like, I don't like this dude from back when we were at the training camp or whatever. I'm immediately not going to ride with him. And that's why he was like, yo, all right, well, I got to kill this guy. So I didn't really mind that. But I just wanted to see it. So I'm glad you're all on the same page as me. And
no, I agree. Has he not seen A Knight's Tale? Because A Knight's Tale with Heath Ledger, when he takes the knight's suit, puts it on, pretends to be the knight, like, they should all know this. He takes his helmet off, so nobody knows. I mean, no.
Oh, what you got queued up? You about to get a flag? Let's go.
No, this is the trailer here. So we're just gonna watch this while we're talking.
Be careful with that trailer.
Oh no, it's on mute.
Oh, that's the important part. It's crazy.
It's all mute for sure.
It's true.
So yeah, but that was pretty interesting. But to me, Thaddeus, I believe his name was, right?
Yeah.
I would have been pissed after he branded me.
Oh, I hate to, but you know this series wouldn't work if it was based in a post-apocalyptic Louisiana. Them cages and red be coming out the walls looking at these death claws, giant bugs, and other mutated creatures and be like, I wonder what they taste like.
I relate.
That's great.
Can I say I didn't like Lucy at the beginning? Like, she just annoyed me. Like, it took me 3 episodes to like her character.
She's supposed to.
There's my girl right there, though.
She's supposed to, but also, what does that say about society? That this character gets better as the more she gets broken.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
The more she gets broke, like
she's pretty much a badass towards the end.
She's every kid that we saw that actually got 2 parents in the home and kept them sheltered from things, and we're like, yo, you don't even know what it's like out here. Like, you're not understanding, and when you do, you'll be a lot more likable. Funny.
For real though. Yeah, she was I liked her from the beginning though, but I do understand what you're saying, because she had that Vault mentality. That's all she had. So I definitely understand that.
What I do like is that they didn't do the things that most shows or IPs do, where you have that like do-gooder character who, like, yeah, they may shed some of their beliefs during their journey, but when it gets to the end, there's a moment where that original belief and optimism shines through. No, they broke her shit and they made us all love where she went, and that we're like, yes, you're finally doing what every normal human would do in the situation. And I thought that was a funny way to go about it. Like they didn't. It was quick. Like, not her optimism lasted about 4 or 5 after the scene where he met the other dude out there who was in the midst of the change to the ghoul, which was, I think, the beginning of episode 4. Mm-hmm. When he met that guy and he had to kill him, he ended up killing him like cold-bloodedly. From that moment on, she saw things differently, and it quickly went away. This whole optimism thing, like, I thought that was
yes. Her interactions with the ghoul, like, that really got her to understand, especially when she drank that radiated water. So. Radiation water like that.
That sip of radiation water was the first time it was like, you don't even have a bathroom to go to. You don't have nothing safe out. There's no creature comforts out here.
Yes, it's real out here.
You are on your own.
It's real out here, for real. Yeah. So
Chris over here in the chat getting me to watch Sanford and Son. Honey, I've seen that show many times. I was watching it when it first came out. So
I know, right?
I'm gonna need all y'all to
go have a glass of Ripple.
That's right.
I'm gonna need all y'all to stop taking Chris Vick seriously. Love you, Chris. You nut.
Oh man. Okay, so episode 6, that kind of brings you to the insights of Vault-Tec and their shady dealings. Basically, you find out that the ghoul's wife, back in the day, she was on the board of Vault-Tec, a pretty influential player, and she came up with the idea pretty much to let the nukes go herself. And once you get the nukes going, everybody else is going to respond with their own nukes. And then, boom, it's exactly what we want, to restart the world over in our own image. We're going to use our own people. We're going to put our own people in the vaults, people that we trust, scientists and all this kind of stuff. And then we're going to wait everybody out till they die out. And then we'll go back up there and restart the world. That's the whole plan for Vault. That freaking just blew my mind. Hearing that plan, but I could definitely see corporations doing something like this, because it's a corporation at the end of the day.
Yeah. The bottom line.
Yes, absolutely. So we do see well, go ahead, Coach.
Help me understand something. I don't know if we're gonna get to it towards the end, but how were they able to live as long as they were? They never really addressed that. That's something that I figure you should, just people in general. Because some of those people,
Dad, he was cryo though, wasn't he? In cryo, because didn't that robot little gremlin dude tell her brother, like, you can take your dad's place in there?
Yeah, they had cryo.
You're right.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
And the ghoul's, he's just a ghoul. Been a ghoul.
The ghoul. The medicine he's taking, I think that's what sustains him.
But also, that's not part of the game. So that's their own lore that they added for the show.
Okay.
So there is those type of stims in the game, but they do not do that for the ghouls. The ghouls' main thing is that they just are immortal. Like they're just around. They're not gonna die. They can take damage. Actually, in the game, apparently they take much more. Remember how when they had the shootout by Bree's character, by her shot or whatever.
Yeah.
When they had the shoot, he got hit a few times, but he just kind of shook it off. No, in the game, they get fucked up. They just don't die. Like you could just take them down with that, and eventually they'll heal, but they don't need anything, and they kind of just move on. So they added the drug, and it's funny because they make it seem like, well, they point out that it sustains them.
It keeps them from going feral as well, right?
Yeah, but also it's habit forming.
Yeah, it's a dependency for sure.
Very much dilaudid. Like it's
so remember the guy that was selling the snake oil or whatever?
Cocaine asthma pump.
And this other guy gets injured or whatever, and then he goes and meet this guy, and the guy's about to off himself for sure. Yeah. But he comes up on a scam, like, hey, let me get you, and gets him in his pharmacy or whatever.
Yeah.
And he pretty much gives him the ghoul formula.
Right.
And that's what heals him.
But
now you're dependent upon that now.
Well, it's not even. Well, that's the thing. It wasn't that the formula healed him. It's that it made him a ghoul. And now he can heal. So, like, it's not just like, because if it just healed you and you got dependent on it, well, that's just a really great drug. But if it turns you into a ghoul, I would like to say, I didn't even give my character. I would just like to be a ghoul, not the ghoul. The ghoul's great. Yeah. Obviously, I wouldn't portray myself as that much of a badass. What I'm saying, but just being a ghoul is probably the faction I would choose in this whole world because, like, I haven't seen, okay, you need the drug. Other than that, though, what are the drawbacks?
That's because really it.
You basically immortality, survival instincts.
I mean, watching everybody that you ever know is gonna die already did that. It's post-apocalyptic. So, like, I don't really care. I'll ghoul it out.
Yeah. It's team turning.
Yeah, it turns them from going feral. Yeah, the feral ghouls. But that's only in the show, though. In the game, it's a natural progression. Some go, some don't. Just is what it is. There's no, I don't think there's a trigger for it.
Yeah. Okay.
Or a stop.
Okay. Well, hey, that is something that they bring brought to the show that's unique to them. So,
I like to report on what, like I said, my friend Austin, like he's a big fan. He had no problem with that. He thought it was great.
But it's good because they're not overusing stim packs,
right?
Because if everybody gets healed by the stim packs, like it's just everywhere. Then
it puts a premium on them even more, and then you got to find them, and then you got to have a reason that they're still being made by whom.
Yeah,
it creates a lot of other things. Whereas, I guess it goes with that's one thing I do want to know though. Where do they make the shit for the zombies?
Some scientist guy out there.
Is it with Snip, who was because they had a bunch,
right?
So with Snip, does he like drain spinal fluid to make this shit? Like I don't know. Like he's.
Yeah, so many unanswered questions.
And that makes for a great show. As long as you eventually answer them.
Yep. All right. And then episode 6, we finally get to see Moldover. And she looks like, you think she's a menacing figure and everything like that. But it turns out she just really wants to connect everybody with power. And that's why she wants the head to start this cold fusion reactor kind of thing. So yep, that's what she wanted. I thought that was I thought it was a good swerve because you think you're looking for the big bad wolf and she's not it. Good swerve.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right.
Also, that Squire walked around with a foot that no one could walk around with.
For an extended period of time.
Like miles.
Huge bags and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, they working, bro.
Well, and he took his shoe off too.
Yeah, like taking it off would have just ripped the rest of that foot off.
And then he puts the shoe back on. And the sock. The sock just was like he puts the sock on like it's nothing. Like it just glides right on. I'm like, dude, no. Then no, you can't do that.
That's the best story I've ever heard. Did you know that when Fallout 4 video came Fallout 4 video game first came out, a fan sent the creators a box of 10,000 bottle caps in exchange for the first copy. That fan's a fucking legend, for the record. Absolute legend.
Yeah. I love it.
Oh man, just the money. What's funny is that you probably could have got the guy to sell him the first copy for less than he paid to get the bottle caps, unless he had always been saving them. I have so many questions.
Well, I'm a crafter, and you can buy bottle caps for like 25 of them for $3.99 at Michael's.
Oh, you learn every day.
There you go.
There you go. Bottle caps, cheaper than you think.
Yes.
And I only had to buy bottle caps when I was trying to get a friend of mine to like brew me some beer, like at home. You know, I had to go buy the bottles and the bottle caps. So.
Closest thing I got to saving bottle caps was saving all the the stamps from Kool-Aid packets. I got a Game Boy Color. Mom Deuce went crazy. Got a Game Boy Color. Brand new Game Boy Color when they first came out for an absurd amount of Kool-Aid points.
All right.
Inside just glowing.
Whole sorts of reds and purples.
So Lucy is sentenced to death by banishment from Vault 4.
I love that. It was like, she's going to be sentenced to death. It was a whole thing for like an episode, and they were just like, get out. She was like, I wanted to leave. Like,
yeah. But Vault 4 was really weird because that leader just had like the little one eye kind of dude, like he mutated.
Also, that's the guy from
his voice is legendary. Yeah,
voice is legendary. Rick and Morty. He's an Archer. He's everywhere. I love the guy.
He was in 30 Rock. He was the doctor in 30 Rock.
I think his two biggest. I feel like his two biggest parts are both animated though. Like him on Rick and Morty, and then him as Cyril on Archer. The most known for him.
Yeah.
That
dude was great.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
But nobody really went into the whole mutations though. Like, why not?
You mean which mutations?
Like the nose on the forehead and the.
Oh, I think we're supposed to just chalk that up. It's radiation. Like,
yeah.
I thought it was like experiments, right? Because in the vault they did weird experiments. Right. That's kind of what I kind of figured. Like, that's a lot of stuff gone wrong. What if we put the nose here?
Yeah. I assume they were trying a cocktail of different type of drugs to see if they could create a human that could survive out there. And you end up with eyes on the forehead or noses in places you wouldn't want them. But also the reason why I think it's just radiation involved, maybe it still has to do with radiation, but they're using radiation within the vault. The reason I think that is because when you see the gulper, it's got like fingers for papillae.
Yeah.
So like obviously also fused with something.
Yep.
Fascinating.
All right. So the larger conspiracy that we believe is going on from Vault 31, Norm is trying to find out what's going on. He's getting into computers and all that kind of stuff. And he actually sends a message to the overseer of Vault 31, pretending he's Betty. And this gets him an invite to come to Vault 31, in which he goes and gets there, and the door opens. He gets in there, and it's pretty empty. He eventually finds out it's a brain, like on wheels, pretty much, and there are cryo chambers and all this kind of stuff in there. And so this just leads to everybody understanding, well, him understanding this is all some kind of conspiracy going on. So, Coach, what were you thinking when you found out the brain was out there running things in Vault 31?
It definitely threw me for a loop.
Yeah.
But it kind of made sense though, due to, I think it was Casey had said, or James was talking earlier, how they kind of catered it to how the anticipated technology would have been back in that, 50 years ago, whatever the case may be. Right. So that part of it made sense, but I just thought it was kind of weird that it was kind of like, I guess, giving orders part of the conspiracy itself.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, giving order? It's like, I'm sorry, I missed. something.
Because if I'm not mistaken, when I forgot the lady's name that we were talking about earlier.
Betty.
When
the
Betty,
lady?
when a dude had impersonated Betty, and he was like pretty much returned back to the vault.
Mhm.
So it's kind of like he was kind of giving the orders at that point in time.
Yes. That's like the guy that's like in charge of the conspiracy for sure. And that ends up being the guy that was on the board, if I'm not mistaken, of Vault. I
totally missed that.
I think he's one of the guy that was in the meeting. So yes. And in episode 8, the last one, this is where we find out the dark secrets from Lucy's father. We finally get to find out where he is and everything, but the secret of Shady Sands being destroyed just by Vault-Tec, it just brings it all back to Vault-Tec had this whole thing planned. They're the problem from the beginning. What were your thoughts there, Bree?
Well, I love, like, first of all, that they knew perfectly well that they could live outside the vaults, right? Because if they went to Shady Sands and then he destroyed it and all this other stuff, it was like a test thing. So they already knew how far advanced they were. So that kind of my first thought was it brought me back to the beginning, the first episode where we saw them, them all. Moldova, whatever her name is. She came in with all these guys and like set all this stuff up. Like, it just reminded me like how evil the people that were really in control of a lot of things were in this. And that does go back to Vault-Tec. So I was like, wow, like we get pushed a story and we get told the story so many times and we believe the story. And then that moment when we realize that was total bullshit the whole time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That it's just like, it's more than like Maximus kind of went through that and Lucy went through that. But like, that was pretty, I don't know. It was pretty like pull the rug out from under everybody.
Right.
Don't believe everything you see. Just resounding like what we deal with here now, present day kind of stuff.
So the vaults are America. Or America and all the other, I don't know, this is gonna be political shit. All the other members of the UN, like right. it's because those particular members sell a dream to their people that is not necessarily what's happening. It is what's going on, Dale? You good?
I like this fantasy booking from Casey here.
Crossover plot twist that really could work. Arnold makes an appearance as one of the leftover T-800 Terminators after a nuclear war. No, I'm totally on board. See, the problem is that diametrically opposed because, like we said, they veer from the microchip, which means there can't be a Skynet.
That's true.
But
that's true.
I hate to nerd the shit out of your great pitch. I hate to do that, except
I'll take Arnold from Total Recall.
that we can do. I don't know if he's as much microchips as he is brute, but yeah, you're better off with like a Rambo than because you're not gonna make it with there's no microchips. T-1000 is just gonna be a robot that sucks like snip.
Yeah, let's bring John Wick in.
Yeah,
we can get it done. But I think that's what the ghoul is. He's just Ghoul Wick.
He is Ghoul Wick.
He's Ghoul Wick, bro.
I love it.
Good point. Real good point there.
He got the nice hat, the whole trench coat vibe and shit. Yeah, I love that guy. Goggins, man. Whenever he produces, he produces.
Yep.
Bless you.
Sorry. So
covered all the languages. We're just very progressive.
So we leave here with Moldova. She got the reactor going and everything like that, but she's killed in the process. And the brothers of Steel Brotherhood come through, and they believe Maximus is the one that killed her. So they're cheering, and so he's gonna be a knight for sure, according to the Brotherhood. And So yeah, that pretty much brings everything to a close, and it closes out the series where it looks like they're going to explore New Vegas in the upcoming season.
So there's a whole big Easter egg. How you know that, Dale? You ain't played the games. He read him an Easter egg page.
I have to do a show.
Yeah. So there's a couple. Specifically, there's a billboard. I forget exactly what the billboard says, but the billboard very much points to New Vegas, which my friend said, again, super nerd on this. He said that is actually kind of wild because if I'm correct, New Vegas isn't canon.
Oh,
really?
So they may not be going to New Vegas. That may have just been a, hey, by the way, we made New Vegas. New Vegas is literally by the whole Fallout community considered an outlier. Not just that it's not canon, but that they made some changes. They did some things that weren't exactly the same as some of the other games. Okay. So, and that none of the lore, like I said, is canon, but so I don't know if they're actually going to go the New Vegas like route.
I mean, that's the way it looked at the end.
Game?
No, the game's already made for New Vegas. Fallout New Vegas was a game, and that's what I'm saying. It wasn't canon. They may just be giving you a nice little, but that's for a final shot. Easter egg is fine. You do an Easter egg at any given time when we're walking through a place, but you don't really exactly just do meaningless or just Easter eggs in a final shot. So I don't know. Maybe they will go to 76. I mean, to New Vegas. Is it? You know what? Continue. I gotta find something out right quick.
So how do y'all feel about the possibility of the Ghoul's family potentially still being alive?
Yeah.
Oh, I have a follow-up question to that, but continue.
Yes. That's another part that I left out, but with Lucy's dad being the big bad, being revealed and actually knows where the Ghoul's family is, for sure that can help us a lot going into this next season. Really interesting in the chase of this whole thing. I like that. So
all right, so I just wanted to make sure my facts were correct. That a lot of this information from Austin is after a few blunts and late at night. So I wanted to make sure that I had it right. So yeah, I which Fallout is non-canon. Fallout New Vegas, due to the game being so open-ended, Fallout New Vegas is the one game in the series that does not have a canonical ending. While every game in the franchise allows for player choice to various extents, they still have endings that have been confirmed by Bethesda. So Bethesda, I don't know that they had as much involved with New Vegas, maybe some, but I don't think it was them. So yeah, so if they decide to do New Vegas, that is them saying we are officially out of following anything canon, and we are going to really tell our own story. But I don't have a problem with that, because the best thing about Fallout, now that we've covered most of the episodes now, and the best thing that I thought about Fallout was this. They covered some canon stuff, but I think the best versions of adaptations are when you tell your own amazing story within the rules of the world that's already been created. We love the world. We love the Fallout world.
Yes.
So just tell a story. Now, if you want to tell the story of the games, you have a lot of research, and you got to get guys in there in the room, guys and girls in the room that love the material in and out, and that are pay attention to detail. That is a lot harder to do than just let's get the details overall of the world correct and tell our own story. And I think fans will sign up for either one if you do them accurately. I think here, I don't think they're going to go much more canon. I don't. Because I don't even know that this was barely canon. None of these characters actually exist. There is no the ghoul. There's a bunch of ghouls.
Right.
There is no Lucy. There's the character that you choose who is also trying to find their parent outside in the world. The rest of it is just kind of open. So I don't think they're going to go canon. I think they're going to go, we're going to keep telling our own story in this world. And I think they're doing a great job. Now, with that said, that means that they could go to Vegas, the Fallout Vegas route, which a lot of people like that game, but at the same time, it's not canon. So I digress. I hope they do, because it'd be weird if they just did. Hey, by the way, we know that someone made Fallout Vegas, but we're not going there. We just showed you that. That'd be weird.
Okay.
I hope they go that route. It'd be fun. Also, Fallout 4, I haven't even played it yet because my friend is insane, and if I play it, he'll be disappointed that I played that one out of order. But the setting, but the setting is Boston.
Oh,
yeah.
So I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
Before even playing.
Yeah, I'll probably be playing.
I wanted to go there.
So yeah.
So I want them to go to Fallout 4. I don't want them to go to New Vegas.
I would skip that. Yeah.
Oh, hater.
I get to play in my hometown. Yeah, man, I'm playing there. Straight up.
You from Vegas?
No, I'm just saying if I had a game.
Yeah, you would want that.
In my hometown. Yeah.
And yet you're not hoping that your friend gets what he wants.
No. I'm with you.
Okay, Dale.
I'm with you. That's what I'm saying. I'm with you.
You are.
That's the one. That's the one I'll be playing. So yeah.
Good. You said you didn't want it.
So while we're wrapping up here, final thoughts. One thing I forgot to mention was the one where they were in Lucy and Maximus were in Vault 4, and she offers to have sex with him, and he's just like, "What?" Like his response.
If y'all see Game of Thrones, he's basically low key the Unsullied without actually getting clipped. Like he doesn't know that that's even a thing he should want. He very much feels it later on, and he does not misses the mark. It's not the time. But yeah, I think we are shipping that relationship. We hope it happens. So we think if you're watching it the same way I'm watching it, you're looking at Lucy and you're saying, I mean, she may have gotten this from Goggins Cat from the Ghoul, but I think she needs a little hint of reality in her life regularly that she can confide in. She can't really confide in the Ghoul. He's more of just like a drill sergeant who's like, yo, it sucks out here. Get ready. But with him, I think with Maximus, she can be a little more of herself. And he likes that. Also, while him offering her, but it sucks out here. It's
when the Ghoul drank all that water in front of her face, like that was like, damn, bro.
That's Ghoul shit, though. You know what I mean? You can't be called the Ghoul and not do that. You
gotta be a ball buster.
Yeah. If he didn't do some like mean or like messed up shit to get her to wake up during that process, I wouldn't have bought it. I bought that. I don't even know if that was written. I feel like he was just like, this bitch don't get water.
All right, final thoughts, Bree.
Well, my dogs are gonna make lots of noise.
I love it.
It's okay. It's final
But
thoughts.
I was gonna say a couple things.
Dogs in Fallout.
I thought Lucy was gonna be pregnant from her wedding night.
Yeah.
She still might be. It hasn't. Not enough time has passed. Yeah.
Yeah.
And to bring it back to A Knight's Tale, when Heath Ledger steals the knight's outfit, pretends to be a knight, does all these amazing things, he actually gets made a knight at the end as well. So Maximus, good on you. I was really happy. Like, yep, he should be a knight.
For sure.
I hope he eventually runs the knights.
Yeah.
Because then he could probably do some good in this world other than this. Because so far, we follow his journey. We want the best for him, but he's kind of been a dick.
Well, the guy, that cleric guy was trying to talk about breaking off from the Brotherhood and starting his own Brotherhood.
That's a nice little foreshadowing right there. That's what we call that in the
So I can kind of see what you're saying now, Will. Mm-hmm. All right. Final thoughts, Coach?
For me not to have known anything about it, I definitely was glued to the television. Yes. I'm already anticipating, the second season. I know it's going to take a little bit of time, but I'm already antsy about it. Also, I like, the people that they cast in it. It was a good mixture of established actors versus kind of some new faces. And I know, right? And I kind of like the idea as well, kind of similar to like Game of Thrones, where you really can't get glued or married to a particular character because they can just get off at any point in time. Mm-hmm. So I like the suspense of that.
Yep.
I love the little characters they bring in. We said like we didn't see enough of this guy or we didn't see enough of that person. Michael Rappaport just randomly shows up. There's other. I love that kind of stuff. Like, but I love it when you bring somebody crazy in and like, or just little bit parts, and you get these big actors that'll come in and do it, or somebody that's just super iconic. I hope they keep doing that.
Yes.
For me, it's fun because like just be on an episode. This is the character you play. Like it's to me, it's that's why I related to that one lady that was the one that had the store, right? I don't think we really saw her much again. I know she's a famous. I can't think of what her name is. I like her attitude and she's very ballsy and loud, and well, obviously it relates to me. So. But you know what I mean? Like I want to see like characters like that come in and then leave. It's fine. So I kind of like that about it.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
I don't know if I gave my final thoughts, but I will say that I like the ending too. I just want to speak on the ending right quick. I like how she made the choice. She killed her mom, put her down like she had to. And we see the full turn. That's it. They waited to the very final scene. They didn't have to do that, but they waited to the final scene. You see the final turn. I fully expect when they check back in, if they check back in right as they leave, I kind of want to see them check back in a little further in this journey. I want to see them like they're halfway to, if they're going to New Vegas, they're halfway to Vegas, or they're halfway to Boston if they're doing Fallout 4. I want to see them halfway there. Him and her relationship is way more in sync. Maybe Maximus meets up with them because they're clearly building a little squad. That's what everything kind of does that now. You build a squad, and they kind of have
their own vault.
Right, you're all, but it's we outside though. It's the vault. We outside though, and like they're building a little team of vault rejects. I might say like they're building the vault rejects and also building from outside. And I can't wait. Bunch of shut up, Toop. Go do a podcast. Get on your grind. But yeah, I look forward to seeing where they go with this. And like we said, we don't know if it's going to be New Vegas or what, but they did hint at that. So seeing what they decide to do, them telling a whole new story within this world, I'm here for. And like you said, Bree, the cameos for an episode, I'm here for all of that. Give me some random actor that I want to see in every movie or every scene, and only give them to me for an episode and kill them. It's great. It's great. It's perfect for post-apocalyptic. But
I like it.
Yeah, this was fun.
I like it. All right. Well, this is the review of Fallout. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you guys for in the chat and everything for checking us out and commenting on the video, man. We appreciate y'all. So we will see y'all again. We will be reviewing something else. We don't know when, but we're gonna do something. Stay tuned.
Attack on Titan should be next.
Yes, Attack on Titan.
Your son gonna be ready? Your son gonna do that with us?
Yes. For sure.
Look forward to it. He's great. Sure. He knows his shit.
Yes, sir.
He had me Google it.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for having me on the show, guys. I've had a blast. It's so much fun to be hanging out with you guys again. We got to do it more often.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Hanging out.
Let them change.
All right, guys. See y'all later.
Thanks for watching our show. Remember to subscribe for more shows on the network. Smash the like button, share, and comment.